This file was recovered from the Unsolved Archives. Its clearance has lapsed. Nothing in it has been corrected. When they finally found Owen Blake's campsite, everything was wrong in the same quiet way. His clothes were folded, not dropped, not torn, folded, squared off and stacked on a rock, his boots placed side by side on top, laces tucked in. Like he'd undressed for bed in the middle of the wilderness in the cold and walked off into the trees. No tracks led away. The dogs lost him at the water. For 3 weeks, the forest kept him, and everyone wanted to believe the forest had done it. Accession UA-104, Division 5, impossible places, no tracks leading out. This file is open. Owen Blake, 42. 15 years on hard trails, the hiker other hikers went to for advice. In the fall, he set out to walk the Black Pine Loop 3 nights, alone. Except, he didn't start alone. He started with a friend, his business partner, who hiked the first day, turned back at the river, and drove home. When Owen missed his check-in on day 4, that same friend called it in, and the search began. The search found his camp on day 6, and the camp made no sense. Exhibit A, his tent still standing, food still hung in the tree, untouched. Pack leaning on a log, nothing a bear disturbed, nothing a storm moved. And in the middle of it, the folded clothes. Here's what stopped the searchers cold. Every partner Owen ever hiked with said the same thing. The man was a slob on trail. He lived out of a pile. Owen Blake never folded a thing in his life, but someone folded these. So the Rangers asked the only question that mattered. Then the ground spoke. There were no tracks leaving that camp, not one. The dirt was soft from rain, and it held every print the searchers made. But nothing of Owen walking out, and the dogs ran hot to the stream, 30 yards downhill, and stopped. Dead, every time. Scent doesn't just vanish, but it ends at water. If a body goes into a stream, the trail ends exactly there because the water carried away what the dogs were chasing, and carrying it would take someone strong and calm. 3 weeks in, the search was winding down, and then a volunteer found Owen's jacket high on a slope a mile north. In a grid the teams had already walked, twice, and cleared. It wasn't there before. Something that searched, then empty, then not empty, wasn't missed. It was placed, which means somebody was still out there, weeks later, moving Owen's things around to keep us all looking in the wrong direction. So who could do all that? Not a stranger. You'd need to know which grids were already cleared, which means being on the search. You'd need to know Owen's gear, his route, his habits, and you'd need a reason. When they finally pulled the books on Owen's guiding business, there it was. Money gone missing for 2 years. Owen had noticed. He told someone he'd sorted out on the trail. He never came back to sort anything. 3 people were close to that mountain. The partner who hiked the first day turned back at the river and reported him missing. The ranger who ran the search by the book and never doubted the folklore. And the search itself, dozens of good people combing the wrong grid, one of whom kept finding Owen's things right where they steered us. The forest didn't take Owen Blake. Someone walked out of it. So who? The file is now in your hands. A man who never folded. A trail that ends at water. A jacket that appeared in a place we'd already cleared. None of it is the mountain. All of it is a person. One who knew the route, knew the search, and needed Owen Blake to stay lost. The archive won't ask you where Owen went. It'll ask you who came back to help us look. Say the name in the comments. The archive won't confirm it, but the wall remembers who called it. One detail still doesn't fit. Owen's satellite messenger pinged once 4 days after he vanished, from a ridge 9 miles off his route. 11 seconds, then nothing, ever again. The coordinates match a location named in exactly one other file in this archive. That file is sealed. Owen never hiked that ridge. Something did. This thread stays open. The Wall of Detectives. Every file the detectives whose verdicts hold are named here, by rank, by name. The archive never tells you the answer, but the wall remembers who found it. Tonight it's empty. Solve this file, detective. Your name goes here. This file stays open. They all do. In 7 days, the names that called it right go up on the wall, and the verdict is pinned for the ones who stayed. The full-size case files never open on this channel. They're sealed, printable investigations, and the link is below. A new file every week. The archive stays open. So should you.